Hello, everybody, and welcome here to our 10th race of the season for the NR2003 Busch Series here at Dover International Raceway. Excuse me. Caitlin Roy starts on the pole position for today's race. She comes this race fourth in the point standings. Elena Lydia alongside of her. Lydia comes into this race 34th in the point standings, so she really needs to turn her luck around. Carolina Bradley 19th in the point standings, and Isabel Gordon alongside of her. Isabel Gordon comes into this race in the... I think I went past her. She is 16th in points after dropping down to after falling outside the top 10 in the points. Pace car rolling out, so are the drivers. Going to make sure everyone is rolling off. Looks like they are. Leila Bakai is the points leader by 2 points over Angela Thornburg. Balam Kim is third in the standings, only 25 back. 32 back is Caitlin Roy, comes this race fourth in the standings, our pole sitter. April Winters is fifth in the standings, 37 back. 62 back is Alexandria Starnes, who is sixth. Darlene Ward, who dropped 5 spots down to seventh in the standings after IRP last week. Chow Deng is eighth. Prue Granger is ninth. Chow Deng's actually tied with Darlene Ward for seventh. Prue Granger 81 back in ninth, and Calipin Bergia completes the top 10, 92 points back. The officials are going to be keeping a very close eye on Claudia Flores and Elizabeth Gardner. Both ladies were placed on probation for their aggressive behavior during the race last week at IRP. Time for the 5-hour Energy 200, 40 laps of racing here at Dover. It was a wreck fest yesterday in the truck race. Let's see what today's race will be. Green flag, we're racing at Dover. I also had recording problems, so I've restarted my laptop, so my laptop's not lagging. And it only caught 3 seconds of recording and not the entire race that I tried to record this series, so I do apologize for that. Right now, as the caution's out for the first time today, it didn't take long for the yellow to fly on lap number 2. Caitlin Roy will lead us back to our first caution of the day. Looks like a wreck on the front straightaway, so let's make sure nobody is causing any problems. Very wide back here with Megan Knight, Charlotte Lopez, and April Winters. Now we're going to find out who is involved. Oh, Shyla, no. Mackenzie, be nice to Shyla. Now they'll get that situated. Who brought out the yellow? Eva Mata is the reason for the yellow, and looks like ninth in the point standings, Prue Granger is involved. Don't know if Yvonne Dune got a piece of it, but I know I see some damage to the rear end of Balam Kim. Comes this race third in the point standings. So the caution's out for the first time here today at the Dover International Raceway. Let's jump back, look at a replay to find out what happened to third in the points, Balam Kim, here in the early stages at Dover. And this is what happened to bring out the first caution of the day. It's like Eva Mata is going to turn Tatiana Guerra. This was near the rear of the field. And Guerra is going to lightly tap the nose of her Supercut Chevrolet. Ivana Dune put Eva Mata, sent her into the wall. There's where Prue Granger gets involved. Sally Ford's going to miss this crash. Only a 5-car wreck. Von Dune's got, don't know if she's got some damage on her AC Delco Chevrolet. I don't think so, but only 5 drivers involved. Most notably, third in points right there, Balam Kim, who is trying to run down Leila Bakai and Angela Thornburg for the points lead. And boy, this is not going to be a good day for her as the yellow is out for the first time here today at Dover. Let's jump back to the restart here at the Monster Mile. Green flag back, going to go back in the air on lap number 7 of 40. Should give us a total of 33 or check that, yeah, 34 laps of racing to go. Caitlin Roy is the leader. Carolina Bradley second. Wanda McBride third. Lena Lydia in the KFC colors this week is fourth. Fifth is Joanna Berg. Isabel Gordon sixth. Shayla Askarov in seventh. She ran the truck race yesterday in a wreck fest. Mackenzie Servino is eighth. Chow Dang is ninth. And Becky Sampson will complete the top 10. Points leader Leela Mackay will restart in 11th. Eva Mata, the only gal out of the race due to our only caution. 41 of the 42 drivers will take the restart. Mata came as race 22nd in points. She's going to take a hit in the standings. And as I mentioned, Balam Kim, who came as race running well in points, going to really take a hit in the standings. Caitlin Roy, who's the race leader, she's another gal that's also trying to run down Leela Bakai for the points lead as the green flag is back in the air here at Dover. A good restart for that 92 team. We already know where Balam Kim restarted. Caitlin Roy's the leader, and Leela Bakai was 11th. Where is the gal that's trying to run down Leela Bakai for the points lead? The 33, that would be Angela Thornburg. She's back in 35th. Remember, she comes in this race second in points. And like I said, she is the gal that's trying to run down Leela Bakai for the points lead. Carolina Bradley's underneath the 92, but doesn't look like she can get the position gain. Now, if I'm the Diva Busch Series girls, I would like to be less aggressive and more racy by being a lot more patient with one another, because we had a wreck fest in our truck race yesterday, which totaled out to 5 cautions. And Diva Busch officials told these girls to be on their best behavior, because we do not want a repeat of our truck race yesterday, where we had wreckfest after wreckfest after wreckfest. So let's see if that will be the case. Of course, we got our early caution out of the way. We just want to see some green flag runs here today. And I think the same will be said to our Diva Cup race you will see tomorrow. I need to blow my nose for a second. Lena Lydia going to go for second. As I said, running some new colors on her 81 machine, the KFC colors this week on her Chance 2 Motorsports Chevrolet. Carolina Bradley going to take the race lead. Bradley comes into this race 19th in the point standings. Only one top 5, one top 10 this year. And she needs to have something go right as the caution is out for the second time today. I just noticed the yellow lights coming off of turn 2. So Carolina Bradley going to race us back to the line. Now let's hope these girls also learn that we don't want the leader to get wrecked or get into an incident like what we had yesterday in the truck race. And let's see who brought out the yellow. It's Tatiana Guerra, so she's 2 for 2 in the cautions. Looks like Sally Ford might have been involved in whatever this yellow is. Don't see any damage to the Great Clips Ford, but I know the Supercut Chevrolet is torn up in Tatiana Guerra. So caution's out for the second time today. As we're on lap number 15, we'll get to start on. Let's jump back, look at a replay to see what happened to sweet old Tatiana Guerra. Well, apparently Tatiana Guerra is definitely not going to be happy with the Great Clips Ford of Sally Ford. And Sally Ford just stayed on the left rear of the Supercut Chevrolet. Unfortunately, it took both drivers into the wall. Did some pretty significant damage to Tatiana Guerra's car. And like I said, this was towards the rear of the field, I should point out. So Noguera is now 2 for 2 in being involved in an incident not of her own doing, but I really don't know what the deal is with Sally Ford, why she's being aggressive on lap 13 of a 40-lap race where patients need to be involved in. Sally Ford came in this race 15th in the points. Boy, she's probably going to get a yelling from Noguera, who was 25th in the points, needing a good result. Or actually, let me rephrase that. She's tied for 24th with Yvonne Dune, but unfortunately, that's going to be a disappointing end for Noguera's race. Second caution of the day is out. Let's jump back to the restart here at Dover. About to go back to green on lap number 18 of 40, getting close to the midway point of today's race. Top 10 as we go back to green. Carolina Bradley, the leader. Joanna Berg, second. Elena Lydia is third. Wanda McBride is fourth. Caitlin Roy, fifth. Mackenzie Servino is sixth. Isabel Gordon, seventh. Darlene Ward, eighth. Ninth is Leela Bakaya, the points leader. And Shayla Askarov will complete the top 10. Unfortunately, Tatiana Noguera is out of the race, so that's a tough break for her. I bet you she's not going to be happy with Sally Ford. And we're also being told the 60 of Annie James is on pit road with a parent problem. Not entirely sure what is wrong with the 60 Roush racing car. And Annie James dropped 5 spots down to 14th in the points. That's another driver who came in this race running well in points. So a lot of drivers running well in points going to take some hits after this race. And this is probably going to be a somewhat of a point shakeup heading into next week at South Boston as green flag is back in the air here at Dover. Next week we are heading to South Boston Speedway as we're going to go short track racing. Diva Truck Series have already been to South Boston Speedway this year. Diva Busch and Cup will be the ones that will go racing. And of course, that will be the final race before the All-Star break for the Diva Cup Series before we determine who will have to race their way into the All-Star race via the Diva Open. Check up on the points leader. 9th for Leela Bakai. What about Angela Thornburg, second in points? As Yvonne Dune is out of the race with a blown tire. 34th for Angela Thornburg, and we're being told Annie James has not left pit road, so apparently whatever the issue is on the 60 is unfortunately going to be terminal, so looks like Annie James's day might be done as we're halfway through the 5-hour Energy 200. And Annie James, this will be 2 weeks in a row. She's going to lose some more spots. Last week was inside the top 10 in the point standings entering IRP, and now she's about to drop even further down through the points table. So that's unfortunate for the 60 team, as they were hoping to have a much better race here today. Elena Lydia, who's trying to turn her rotten luck of late around, having a much better result here today. And there's Darlene Ward, who's in third, getting ready to pass Wanda McBride. Darlene Ward trying to bounce back after a bad finish at IRP last week. And unfortunately, it looks like the 60 car is going to be out of the race, as we're not entirely sure what is wrong on Annie James's car. So Yvonne Dune's already out of the race, and Tatiana Noguera, and they join Eva Mata, who has gone behind the wall from the first yellow. I'm going to check something real quickly. Right now, we only have 38 drivers on the lead lap. Angela Thornburg's running in 35th. As I said, she came as race second in points. Third in points, Balam Kim is in 36. That was third in points. So two drivers that came in this race trying to run down Leela Bakai for the points lead. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Either Angela Thornburg missed the setup or something's wrong with the Outdoor Channel Chevrolet. Let's see. Well, we already know why the 6 car is off the pace because of the damage. Looks like Thornburg's starting to pick up the pace because she realized she needs to get going because, like I said, she's going to take a hit in the points. There's Emma Kaiser, who won the truck race yesterday in dominant fashion, led the most laps, and route to her second win over in that division. And it looks like Annie Winters is not going, or not Annie Winters, excuse me, Annie James is not going anywhere. Sorry about that. It's almost 11 o'clock as of this recording, so I apologize for that. This is what happens when I'm tired. After a long day of work, if you know what I mean, so. PBC Racing has yet to go to victory lane this season. Bradley, who is 19th in the point standings, and her teammate Charlotte Lopez in the 57. Let me see where Charlotte Lopez is in points. Charlotte Lopez is 11th in the points. Neither of the PBC Racing cars have gone to victory lane this season. Lopez is running in 11th last time by. We crossed the lines. We're inside of 10 to go, by the way. Lena Lydia having a great run in the 81 machine. Joanna Berg, Isabel Gordon having a good runs. Caitlin Roy, who led a good part of this race, as Askarov has already fallen outside the top 10. And it looks like right now, Leela Bakai will definitely keep the points lead heading into next week because the gals that were trying to run her down for the points lead are running in 35th and 36th, respectively. So I can tell you, Caitlin Roy is going to be second in points coming out of this race here at Dover. And like I mentioned, a lot of drivers who came in running well in points. Let's see, 87 is running in 24th. That's, by the way, 5th in points. Where is Sarnes, who is 6th in points? She's up to 25th, so Sarnes is going to take a hit in the standings. Darlene, I know, is running in 7th, so she'll stay in the top 10 of the points. But like I said, a lot of gals who came in running very well in the points table are really going to take some hits. But I know Leela Bakai won't take a hit because, well, Leela Bakai will keep the points lead heading into next week at South Boston. Tomorrow we got the Diva Cup Series FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speaks tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Of course, April's sister Annie is going to be in that race, and you will see Annie Winters and the other 41 gals tomorrow as we'll bring in the Diva Cup Series. Of course, there's been some rumors that Tatiana Guerra, Emma Kaiser, and Alexandria Sarnes could be going to the Diva Cup Series next season. We're going to have to wait and see as far as those rumors are concerned if they can start turning their luck around. And who knows, we may see Carolina Bradley and Darlene Ward if they can get their performances together. In Bradley's case, yes. Darlene Ward's been kind of solid. Sometimes she'll have some bad days. Sometimes she'll have some good days. Like today, she's having a good day. Let's see. Has Darlene gone to victory lane? Yes is the answer. She's about to pass Carolina Bradley. As we're going to take the white flag, I should point out. As we'll start the last lap here at Dover, and that might have been the winning pass for the 73. White flags in the air for Darlene Ward. Darlene Ward comes in this race 7th in points, going to get her 2nd win of her Diva career in the Diva Busch Series and of the season. Darlene Ward off of turn number 4 is going to win the 5-hour Energy 200 here at Dover. An awesome win for Darlene, who really just stayed out of trouble when it mattered the most. Standings are not yet official. They will be official. As soon as I say that, they are now official. As soon as I open my mouth and say that. Carolina Bradley, so close, but will get a 2nd place. So she came in this race 19th in the points. That will be her 2nd top 5 and top 10 of the year. Joanna Berg, nice quiet run from her in 3rd place. Joanna Berg comes into this race, if I can find her in the point standings. Joanna Berg is 17th in points. That is her 2nd top 5, 3rd top 10 of the year. Wanda McBride had a quiet race in 4th. Wanda McBride came in this race 37th in the points. That's a well-needed run from her. It looks like we've had a crash involving Emma Kaiser, but the race is over. So we'll investigate that before we sign off for the day. Looks like 5th will go to Lena Lydia, who was 34th in points. So a couple of girls struggling in the points table. This is good runs for them. 6th goes to Mackenzie Servino, who came as race 21st in the points. So a good run from her. Leela Bakai finished 7th. She'll keep the points lead heading into next week at South Boston, with probably Darlene Ward going to be 2nd in points. No doubt about that. Charlotte Lopez gets 8th. She'll be in the top 10 in the standings after a number of gals had troubles today. Megan Knight gets 9th, so good run for Megan Knight in that number 99 team. And Isabel Gordon, well-needed run from Isabel. Came as race 16th in the point standings, completed the top 10. First, before we check out the rest of the finishing results, let's investigate what happened to Kaiser. I said Kaiser, not the 18, you derping game. This is probably coming to the checkers. Oh, whoa. Or this was on the cooldown lap. And apparently, I don't know who decided to have a brain fart. Started with the damn 25, and look at all the... yep, 25 caused all this. Whoa, 23 goes flipping. Kaiser goes upside down. Ada Chua got a piece of it. What on bloody earth was that all about? 23 was racing to pit road, just ran the back of April Winters. Not sure what that was all about, but I had to include in the video. Sally Ford, I guess, not done running into people for some reason. A lot of drivers got torn up as a result. But good night, Charlie Brown. That was kind of stupidity, if you ask me, so. But anyway, that will be looked at by race control. Caitlin Roy, Askarov, Sampson, Tang, Flores were your top 15. So Flores and Gardner, who are both on probation for 6 races for their stupidity at IRP, had some much better results. Look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. A lot of gals that came in a race running well in points. Thornburg's going to take a hit. 36 came as race 2nd in points. Balam Kim, 35th, came as race 3rd in points. Sally Ford was the last car on the lead lap, although I do expect her to get penalized because I don't think she even slowed down at all. And I think from the 23 who ran in the back of the 87 for really no reason when they're checking up to come to pit road, will be asked to see the officials. I think from April Winters on down, they're probably going to have a talk with race control after that stupidity, which, even though the race is already over anyway, so. Yvonne Junie, Annie James, Tatiana Guerra, and Eva Mata are going to finish behind the wall out of the race. But that's going to do it from here at Dover. Darlene Ward gets her second win of the year. If you guys enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Rate Crew. Today, we showed your full finish results. You will see your point standings heading into next week at South Boston. You will see down in the description. We got to finish up our race weekend from Dover with the Diva Cup Series. Hope you will tune in for that. Until then, I'm Diva signing off. Goodbye from Dover. We'll see you tomorrow for the Cup races. You've been watching another broadcast of PCS Ray TV, the best in our racing around the world since 2017.